young man who was taking me through the ancient constructions in the old town said something that I thought was spectacularly ingenious. He told me, this church where we are is the Anglican church in Stonehouse, where there was a whipping post. They needed the church so that they could soften your hearts and soften your minds. Then he took me to the school, and they needed the school so that they could indoctrinate you. Then he took me to the hospital. He said they needed the hospital so that once, if you got sick, you would be made well, and once you are well, then you would be exported as a commodity to go and work the fields. I thought that was amazing, the way he interpreted it. Education, the ones that we inherited, was meant to indoctrinate us, so that our default way of thinking, we think like white people, we think the way they do. Because remember, the education was supposed to create a graduate who would work in their civil service for their benefit, not our benefit.
Not our benefit.
And Nyerere said it in 1966, that education must not be an avenue for accumulation of certificates
that you can hang in the wall.
That you can hang on your wall. No. Education must turn you inside out so that you become a good instrument for social revolution and societal change and transformation.
You don't go to school to study so that you can write a CV. You go to school to study so that you can solve the problems in the community. Here is the model. Before you go to school, identify the problem in the community. Then go to school. Study the problem. Look for possible solution. Have a proposal and a business plan of how to solve this problem. When you graduate, go back into the community and solve that problem. And while you are solving problems, you've created a business and you can charge a premium for your solving the problems. But we don't have an education system like that. We have an education system that gives you a degree. And the best thing you can write after your degree, I hereby apply for a job. I'm a team worker. I work under pressure. Really? And there we end up with graduates that are not employed instead of graduates that are creating employment. Why? With almost so many engineers in Kenya, are we still having a problem with electricity? What were they doing in school? Why are we struggling with medicine when we have so many doctors and pharmacists that have come out from the bush? Who amongst all these doctors tomorrow morning will go to the bush and find msusu and make for us a tonic that cures stomach problems? No, it has not been tested. It has not been tested by who? Because our fathers have been doing this for the past thousands of years. Which part of clinical tests do you need? But anyway, if you need clinical tests, then test it and see if it won't work. So the concept of education, we don't need an education that teaches us about the other. We need an education that teaches us about ourselves. It should be illegal for any student to graduate as a graduate and does not know what is underneath his feet in terms of the resources that their country is offering, the raw materials that are underneath their feet, the trees that are around them, the flora that is around us, and how all these are possible opportunities of business, economics, and development. Here is an opportunity for innovation, creating new products that are on the market, creating new drugs that are on the market. Education must educate us. How do we convert our raw materials into business and into industry? And until we get there, we'll be manufacturing fools for the employment sector.